Hello, Chad P. Wilson here with McKinsey Banking Company and Foundation Bank, offering you another Chat with Chad. This is a chance just to talk with you about questions that you may have submitted or things that are going on in the economy around us. Today we're just going to talk a little bit about some recent economic news and some of the effects that may have on us as we continue to make our way through a very challenging economic environment. Big news in regards to the health of the U.S. economy last week. We got the numbers for GDP. GDP stands for the gross domestic product, and it's like the report card for all the goods and services that take place in the United States. It was down almost 33% in the second quarter. That is a number that staggers the imagination compared to previous quarters. As a matter of fact, you'd have to go all the way back to 1958 during the last epidemic that we had, which was the Asian flu, to see a number that low. It was down about 10% in one of the quarters in 1958. So this is the largest downturn that we have had at one time, concentrated in a short space, since World War II. Now, we should expect a bounce in the third quarter, but we don't know how much because we've obviously seen some reopening, but that reopening is obviously being challenged by a reemergence of the virus. We're seeing certain parts of the country reopening faster than other parts. We're seeing continued cases increase more so in certain parts of the country, and that's going to restrain economic activity. So we know a bounce is coming, but we just don't know how much. It is reasonable at this point to assume that the bounce is going to be slower than we expected maybe a month ago before this most recent second wave of COVID-19. Unemployment benefits ceased at the federal level last week. If people were unemployed and qualified, they were getting $600 per week in federal unemployment benefits in addition to their state unemployment benefits, which I believe in the state of Tennessee is $275 a week. Well, Democrats and Republicans are wrangling over whether to extend those unemployment benefits, and if so, how much. They generally agree that they need to extend it in some manner. Republicans in the Senate recently proposed a $200 a week unemployment benefit. Democrats want more than that. They want to see the $600 extended. It's possible that they'll come to some agreement with a number in the middle, maybe $450, let's say, for a period of time, because it would seem in an election year that that is a piece that both parties would probably want to continue, especially in light of the resurgence of COVID-19. There are other things that they're working on, though, in Congress besides simply the unemployment benefits. They're working on a new COVID-19 relief bill, and there's some disagreements on that. Liability protections are something that Republicans really want to see that would protect businesses and schools, that would help protect them against lawsuits if they're following CDC guidelines if people were to get sick. Democrats generally are not for that. Democrats would like to see aid for state and local governments, and Republicans have expressed some hesitation to do that. But there are some things that the parties do agree on. They agree on more money for tracing and testing the virus. They agree in principle to another round of stimulus money, which may look like the checks that we saw go out, the $1,200 that many people received a few months ago. They also would like to protect renters from eviction. So they're going to pass something. I think there's no doubt about that, especially in an election year. But what that will be is still very uncertain. So watch your trusted political outlet. And I do say trusted because you have to be careful and thoughtful in where you receive your political news. And you should be able to see the most recent developments on them hashing out another COVID relief bill. An interesting phenomenon that we're seeing is that even though certain parts of the U.S. economy are struggling dramatically, more so than in years. Other areas are booming. And if you're at all related to the home improvement or home building industry, you're probably seeing a boom that probably causes you to scratch your head. And that has translated to inflation in lumber prices. Lumber prices are way up. In some instances, as much as 100 to 400%, depending on the particular type of lumber that you're needing. And this is because of what always causes inflation: too much money chasing too few goods. So why are there too few goods? Well, back in the second quarter, as lumber companies were watching this pandemic unfold, they kept their inventories lean because they probably thought, now is there really going to be demand during the middle of a pandemic? So you have lower inventories, and now that those inventories are being depleted by incredible demand, they can't ramp back up to make enough lumber to catch up. As a matter of fact, we've got some relationships in the industry, and some comments that we've heard is that they're having trouble bringing people back to work because some of their workers are making more money from the unemployment benefits at the federal level than they were making when they were working. So that's creating difficulty ramping up production. So lumber prices are just one example of kind of the perfect storm of a lot of money where people are not spending in other areas and spending on things like home improvement, which is causing demand that lumber companies can't keep up with. We're going to see a lot of really unusual things in this very unusual time, and what is to come is really just educated guessing at this point. We do, on a personal note, just want to encourage you as we continue to make our way through this landscape to show an incredible amount of grace and humility as we make decisions based on facts that we know and many things that we don't know. We're all kind of stumbling through the dark together, and showing compassion and charity and understanding as we walk through this together, I think is important and a wonderful opportunity to love your neighbor. If you're looking for financial guidance in particular, we can help you there at Foundation Bank and McKinsey Banking Company. We want to do more than just cash your check, give you a loan. We do those things, but we try to do it from a perspective that helps you make a good financial decision. So we want to help you learn how to borrow more wisely, how to save in a smarter way, and how to invest more consistently for the future. So if you're looking to do that in the midst of these unique times, hop on our website, foundationbank.org, to find a branch near you and start a conversation so that we can help you do whatever it is you're trying to do financially in this time well, with a partner at your side. Until our next Chats with Chad, God bless you.